This is the Mecool stick that I will be reviewing. This is going to be a review of the Mecool Android TV stick, the KD1. This is the newest interface for the Android TV OS operating system. Now there's something a little bit special about this box, but I'll get into that a little bit later, so just keep watching, I'll tell you about it. But anyway, this got just about all the applications that you could want or need, except it's missing two items. It's missing Netflix and it's missing Prime Video. So I'll show you how to get Prime Video, so just keep watching. The first thing I want to do is talk about the thing that makes this special, and I'll show you right here under the settings. I will talk about the settings in a little while, but right now I want to continue telling you about what makes this stick special. So we'll go to Playback Settings, and this is it right here, HDMI self-adaptation. So that's what I'm going to discuss right now. So what it does, it changes the frame rate automatically to match your video, whatever it was produced in. So I'll go elaborate a little bit more on that. Until 1927, the frame rates on films, silent movies, were all over the place because they were hand cranked. But in 1927, they introduced audio to the videos. So that's when they standardized 24 frames per second for movie creation, and that still holds true for today. All right, let's take a look at Disney Plus. Now let's see if it switches frame rate. So let's go down, let's pick one right there. How about that one? Iron Man. I'll go click resume. Now let's see if it switches the frame rate. And you will see 24 pop up at the bottom of the screen. So keep watching. I can't have it on very long. Okay. There you go. It just switched to 24 frames per second. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get out of that now. And it should switch back to 60 frames per second. It should pop up here in a minute. Okay, it just went back to 60 frames per second. So what that tells you that this automatically switches the frame rate to match the video how it was created. So movies that are created in 24 frames per second but played at 60 frames per second, it has to drop some frames every few seconds. So that's why it's best to play a movie that's created in 24 frames per second. It's best to play them at 24 frames per second, not 60. Otherwise you do lose frames, but most people it's not even noticeable. YouTube also supports 24 frames per second. I'll show you that now. Okay, now it's at 60 frames per second. Let's click on YouTube. And let's do a search. Video at 24 frames per second. Okay, just switch to 24 frames per second. Okay, just went back to 60 frames per second. All right, let's look for Prime Video. Prime Video. Okay, Amazon Music, Disney, everything's there, but there is no Amazon Prime Video, so we can't install it from the Play Store. So now we're going to find another source. Okay, I've downloaded another store, internet store for Android, and it's called Aptoide TV. So let's take a look and see if we can find it there. Now, I don't think the voice works very well on this one, so we're going to look for Prime Video. I'll go ahead and stop it while I'm typing. Okay, this Prime Video, Amazon Prime Video. Okay, you got that one there. Let's take a look at that one. Now that looks like the telephone version. We don't want that one. Okay, how about this one? Amazon Prime Now? No. How about that one? Prime Video. Let's take a look at that. Okay, that looks like what we want right there. So let's go ahead and install that one. Doesn't take long at all. Now the only problem is I do not subscribe to Prime Video, so therefore I cannot verify that this indeed works. But it's installing. Okay, let's go over here. There it is right there. Let's see if it does anything. Okay, it opens up. That's Prime Video. Like I say, I do not subscribe, so I cannot verify if it indeed works, if it works in 4K or not. So I do not know. So anyway, that's Prime Video. And that's what the interface looks like running on this device. So I can't tell if it shows it in 4K or whatever. Anyway, I can't test it. So that's what the interface looks like for Prime Video. Now we're back to our home screen again. Okay, that's the end of it. Hope you enjoyed watching it. Thank you. I have to make a couple disclaimers. First off, I was using a capture card that does not do 4K, so it only showed 1080p resolution. However, when I connect it to my TV, I do have all the 4K resolution. So I just wanted to point that out. To clarify what I was talking about the frame rate originally, back when they first started, they used the hand crank camera, so the frames per second was very erratic. This is the camera that they used when they filmed The Wizard of Oz back in 1939. Again, this is when they started using the 24 frames per second, and they're still using that today for film industry. Okay, this is another one of Mecool's newest devices, Android powered devices. It's a KD1 Android TV box, and it is officially Google certified box, or excuse me, stick. And here's what it has. Google Play. So that's what you get. But this is an official Google certified Android TV stick. And there's what it's got: Prime Video, YouTube, Chromecast built in. Now, one thing it does not do, it does not support Netflix in HD or 4K. So it does not support that because you got to have a special license from Netflix, and they do not have it. Okay, here's what's in the box. There's the stick itself, and there is the remote. Okay, here's the manual. There's the information, package contents, and overview. This tells about the remote and how to connect it to your TV. The last page right there. Okay, next we have the remote, and this is actually a pretty nice remote. I've got several of them just like this. But if you notice, the button has got a YouTube, Prime Video, and Google Play, but it does not have Netflix because this box does not support Netflix natively. So this is a combination IR, infrared, and Bluetooth. So very nice remote. This is kind of an unusual cable because you've got the input here that goes into your device. And this is the USB port for the power. And this is an infrared sensor. So this is kind of an unusual cable for this particular device. Here's something else that's unusual. Now this one is only a 5 volt at 1 amp. Normally all my other boxes are 2 amps. So this one's only 1 amp, so 5 watt. Okay, here is the stick itself. KD1. And on the side here is the power port where that connector goes into, right here. So that goes into the port there. And there's nothing on the bottom. So there is only one port right there. That's all you get on a stick. And here is the connector that plugs directly into your TV. That is a USB port. So that's what you get. That's everything that's in the box. You may have a TV that there's not enough room to plug this HDMI port into, so I'll show you what I use the adapters. You can use this inexpensive female to female adapter, and that will work. Plug it on the end of the device, then you plug an HDMI cable in here, then you're good to go. Here's another adapter that I use sometimes. It's got the female here and the male here. So your device plugs into here, and then that plugs into your TV. So this is something I use also. All right, let's go connect it to the TV and see what it does. Here's one of my Android sticks from 7 years ago. Same thing, similar, and it's smaller. But again, this was from 7 years ago, 2014. I just cranked it up yesterday to see if it still works, and it still works. So that's what they had 7 years ago.